Right, everyone, it's Cup final weekend. It may be coming up to Christmas. It doesn't really feel like a Scottish Cup final, but that is exactly what is in front of us. Hampden tomorrow, 2:15 kickoff, Celtic v Hearts. You know all these details, so I don't know why I'm telling you them. What I will say, that you may not know, but if you're a big fan of 67 Hail Hail, you will, is that first of all, we did a live preview to the game against Hearts. Ewan from the site joined me. A really good reaction to that, both live and since. If you haven't yet caught it and you want some pre-cup final, I don't know what you would call it, footage. I was going to try and come up with a better word there, but to be honest, I don't really have any. So we'll call it pre-cup final footage. You can check that out on 67 Hail Hail. In fact, I'll even link it up there for you. Elsewhere in terms of 67 Hail Hail, you'll know by now, you'll be tired of me saying it every single video. I have been set the quite ambitious target of getting to 10,000 subs by the end of 2020. That's now just over a week away. We've still got a fair bit to go, but if you want to become one of the people who hasn't yet subbed, that does it now and makes my Christmas, then why not just give it a go? Pause the video now, give it a go, do it. Right, I've been using these Saturdays as a bit of a different kind of look at the channel and a bit of an escape from all the bad and also recently good stuff that's been happening at Celtic. I've been using it as wee kind of profile pieces on famous Celtic fans and also players that you may have heard bits and bobs about but may not know a great deal about. And on today's video, I've got another one of those for you. Now, last week we had the profile of an American player currently playing for Celtic. Well, the development squad mainly is named Cameron Harper. Again, go and check out that video if you haven't done it yet. This week, we've got an American player who isn't a Celtic player, but if reports are to be believed, he could soon be. I am talking about Mark McKenzie, and I'm going to tell you all about him starting now. Right, the first thing you need to know is that he's a centre-back. He's around about 6 foot, so not a giant for a centre-back. He's 21 years old. He plays for Philadelphia Union, who are an MLS side. They actually won the Eastern Conference of the MLS last season, but were then knocked out, I think, in the quarterfinals of the end-of-season playoffs by the New England Revolution. So he's a key player for them. I was looking at his recent statistics and he's actually played every one of their last 16 matches. And even further to that, he has played every single minute of those matches. Now, I don't know what 16 times 90 is. Now, I'm not even going to bother working it out. Is it like 1,400? Something like that? 14,000? I don't know. Anyway, someone work that out, let me know. But that's the amount of minutes he's played for the club over the last couple of months. And even further to that, it's not just club football that McKenzie plays, because very recently he has become an international for the United States of America. He played in their 6-0 friendly win against El Salvador, which means the saviour in Spanish. I found that out last week. And he was pretty impressive. Obviously kept a clean sheet. Yes, El Salvador aren't world footballing powerhouse, but he still played for his country, and at only 21, he's certainly got a bright future ahead of him. Oh, just quickly further to that, he was also named in and I need to get this right, the MLS Best 11, so that's just the seasonal Best 11, and also the MLS is Back 11. Now, I googled this. The MLS is Back was a competition run in the summer, kind of like a mini World Cup that they did in America as they were coming back from the pandemic. So there you go. You now know about that. Right, you're going to hear me mentioning Sky Sports a lot and also Anthony Joseph a lot. Believe me, if we were to get an exclusive interview with Mark McKenzie talking about his wants and needs and how he wants to come to Celtic, then I'd be absolutely delighted. But given that Sky are a far bigger name than 67 Hail Hail at the moment, we just kind of have to go off their quotes. So Sky were the main people, and it is Anthony Joseph who seems to have quite good contacts when it comes to both Celtic and I think Mark McKenzie as well. Certainly it was he who did the exclusive interview that you can see on the Sky Sports website. They mainly chatted about racial inequality in the States and worldwide, but they also touched on McKenzie's own career and the potential for him moving to Scotland. So a way back, if you rewind back to September, early September, it seems a lot longer that we've been linked with McKenzie, but it was only at the start of September when Anthony Joseph and Sky Sports reported that we were, quote, monitoring the centre-back. Now, as I say, McKenzie was an option for Celtic in the summer. The tough bit, and you may want to just close your ears, put your hands over your ears, or just mute the YouTube for the next few minutes. But we went and chose Shane Duffy instead of McKenzie, which in hindsight, I'll admit, doesn't look like a wonderful choice, but who knows, Duffy may come good. He certainly looked better in his last couple of games. But anyway, that's the situation with regards to Celtic's interest. We had a look at McKenzie in the summer, but we plumped for Shane Duffy instead and are reportedly paid $2 million for his loan fee. But that doesn't mean that we won't sign McKenzie in the future. As I've already said, the MLS season is now up. McKenzie seems keen on a move away from Philadelphia Union, and he actually seems keen on a move to Scotland with Celtic, but more on that in a wee second. But first of all, I want to address whether Celtic actually need to sign a centre-back in January, because it's going to be a key issue. We've got Christopher Julian there, we've got Chris Ayer there, we've obviously got Shane Duffy, Nir Beaton. I don't even know if you would include Stephen Welsh in terms of options at the moment, because we've scarcely seen him since he played against Milan and Rangers in back-to-back games. But when you think this time next year, which ones of those defenders are still going to be at the club? I think Julian still will be. I think Nir Beaton, if he's fit, still will be. I don't think Shane Duffy will be a Celtic player next season, although that may be famous last words. I certainly don't think Christopher Ayer will still be a Celtic player. I think he'll be one of the ones allowed to leave in the summer. So when you bear in mind that we already lost Simunovic last season, and we're really operating with about 4 centre-backs at the moment, I think there could be room for McKenzie to come in January, but definitely in terms of next season, because there's going to be a space for a player like that. Right, back to Sky Sports News and an interview they did with Mark McKenzie pretty recently. Let's just say that he didn't close the door on a move to Celtic. In fact, quite the opposite. He was asked whether he'd still be up for a move to Celtic. This is what he said. Yeah, ultimately it's about the situation being right for all parties. As a player, you're probably the most important piece in the puzzle, but it's about making sure it's right for the club I'm at now, but also the club I could potentially be going to. I've done my fair share of research and I've always loved football, so I've known about Celtic for a while. You hear about Celtic and the path of Virgil Van Dijk going from there to the Prem. I'm no dummy when it comes to understanding the leagues. I have a general idea of what the leagues look like and keeping up with who is at the front of the pack in the league race and tournaments. I know about Celtic and the league and a lot of other leagues, but it's an exciting time though. So he seems to really like the word league. That's what I know about Mark McKenzie already. But what are the chances of him actually coming to Celtic? So as you will all undoubtedly know, for a football transfer to happen, you need to have interest from the player in going to the club and also from the club in signing the player. So first of all, would Celtic be interested in McKenzie? Well, going by the reports from Sky Sports News, we are certainly interested and aware of McKenzie. Tick. What about McKenzie? Would he be interested in coming to Celtic? Again, you can tick that one off because judging from those quotes, he would very much be interested in moving to Scotland to sign for us. Now, there's some other quotes in that interview with Sky Sports. I've not included them here, but I'll just roughly tell you what he said. He was quoted as saying that he is interested by the prospect of playing in the Champions League against some of the best players in the world and also winning trophies. Now, I'll admit that we haven't exactly been a Champions League powerhouse in recent seasons. We've not even been in the Champions League group stage since, I think, about 2017. But we do certainly offer players a chance to win trophies and to compete at some sort of European level. Admittedly, competing this season has meant getting trounced 8-2 in aggregate in 2 games against Sparta Prague. But anyway, we'll gloss over that. I think this is a deal that Celtic should be looking to make happen. I've already detailed why I think we need a centre-back, or probably even 2 if we're honest, because I think Duffy's future at the club probably doesn't have, long to run beyond this season. Christopher Ayer probably isn't even a centre-back at the moment. He's been played out wide right. Is that a long-term solution from Neil Lennon? Who knows? But there's certainly a space for Mark McKenzie if we're going to sign him in January. And when you're looking at probably a maximum of 2.5, 3 million to pay for a player who's already been capped by the US, who's 21 years old, who clearly has a lot of potential, has been named in, X amount of teams of the season in the States and can go on to a lot better, then I think it's one we have to do. So there you go. Hopefully you found out a little bit more about Mark McKenzie on today's video. Give us a like, subscribe if you've not done it yet, comment below if you've got any thoughts on the video, and hopefully Celtic can sign him in January, and also hopefully Celtic can win on Sunday against Hearts. We're back post-match reaction with John. We may give it half an hour or so after the game. Hopefully during that time we'll be watching Celtic lifting yet another domestic trophy. But I should point out, win or lose, we will be there with the post-match reaction. Take care, guys, and hail, hail.